Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm gonna be giving you what if Naruto fused with Minato, Kushina, and Kurama. Part 17 guys. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Went to the Marvel Universe over an Anime King 2, and enjoy that guys. And if you're new, yes that's right, I indeed have 4 channels. I also post a brand new episode over Anime King of What If Naruto Was a Half-Breed Uchiha, and the other one over Anime Prince of What If Naruto Was Sent to the My Hero Academia universe by Kaguya. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. Remember, if you're new, yes, remember to go ahead and turn on that bell notifications they posted to see exactly when I post on all the channels. Links will be down in the description. So what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, Pain gave out new orders as everyone made their move. While that was taking place, Jiraiya found himself at a bar, as he recently got information that he decided to check upon. Turns out that none other than Naruto was waiting for him there, as he got to sat down with him. Given what happened last time they spoke, well, he didn't expect to ever speak to him again. He thought he didn't want anything to do with him. However, it turns out that Naruto needed his help. He needed his help with Yamanaka. Hidan had been rather difficult. Hidan knew that the moment that he gave out information about the Akatsuki, they would end him. And Hidan's entire thing was creating a grand explosion on the world. And he wanted his explosion to be everlasting, and his name to go down through history. But if he died down here, well, it didn't matter. So he was able to fight through the torturing that he was being put through, and if they push him a bit further, he would die. But Jiraiya wanted to know something before. He wanted to know who Naruto was. Naruto ended up breaking his nose before knocking him away. As he started to attack him, he stopped after a while as Naruto told Jiraiya who he was. However, Jiraiya was expecting to feel happy to finally know. However, all he felt was shame, anguish, as he realized who Naruto was. As he thought about Kushina and Minato, the way they spoke to him, the way Naruto in front of him spoke, as he didn't have much to say on the apology part. He messed up, he messed up badly. However, Naruto sensed something as he turned his gaze. Hidan and Kakazu was currently hunting after Yujito, as she led the both of them towards an underground cavern. Arriving there, they were able to pin her down and defeat her. But before they could drag her away though, Naruto arrived. Surprisingly too, Kakazu told Hidan not to kill Naruto, but that went over his head as Hidan remembered last time they met and Naruto had chopped him up and threw him into a lake. So with that he went berserk. There is when Naruto pulled out his new move, called the Rasen Rod. A deadly technique that ended up decimating the entire place, eviscerating the entire underground cave. Kakazu, realizing this was above his pay grade, he ran away. Sometime later, he informed this to the Akatsuki, as the thought of that was rather troublesome. The high-reaching technique plus there's deadly moves, not to mention his strength that seems superhuman. However, Pain insists that he will be the one to take him. None of them should go after him. But this was a huge step back on their part. Meanwhile that was going on, the cavalry from Kumo arrived after sensing Naruto's colossal blast that eviscerated the area. They wanted to fight, thinking that Naruto was still near Jinchuriki. However, he told him to calm down, as he tapped his chest plate to show them that he was here for business. Jiraiya was shocked the way Naruto was able to make the Raikage agree with what he had to say, as he judged the character of the Akatsuki. None of them knew who the leader was, however. Jiraiya started to get a bit suspicious when he heard that one of them possessed a Rinnegan, as he's only known one person in history to have that eye. Not the sage, person that he had met and trained personally. After that though, they were separated as Jiraiya went back to Konoha, informing Tsunade, as he told her that there's a lot she should know. However, the problem came when the masked man appeared, as he arrived right towards Naruto. He was here to test him and also threaten him as well. However, Naruto sensed a strange thug. The thug was so potent in front of him that he just flashed towards it. Obito didn't react fast enough as Naruto tore his mask off his face. Obito was shocked, as you remember all those years ago when Minato had slammed the Rasengan into him. The mark on his chest, it was still there. As Naruto was shocked, Obito was more shocked the way Naruto spoke to him like he knew him. As Obito flashed away into his dimension, Naruto went after him though. As he wasn't stupid, he had no idea where he'd be entering into. Obito knew that he had to get the mark off him, however, one thing kept on plaguing him. The way Naruto saw him, the way he referred to him like he knew him. But that couldn't be possible. His sensei was dead. He has been dead for years now. Just what in the hell was going on, Obito thought to himself, as Naruto was left there with a lot of memories. A lot of pain, mental that is, as he realized that he failed his student. Maybe if he had known back then, he could have done something, but now, the time had long passed. And Naruto steeled himself for what is to come. Obito has done many atrocities. If he was a masked man, that meant he was the one behind the purge and Kiri. The things that he has done. And Naruto could not, in good conscience, allow him to live after everything. After everything he was planning, after everything he was gonna do. He just couldn't. After getting the information from the Akatsuki, Konan seemed to just took it all with a grain of salt. Nagato knew that he should do something about that, but it seemed like whatever he did was not gonna help her. So for now, all he should do was just focus on the organization. So yeah guys, basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the play, check it out for yourself, and also, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs. Links will be down in the description, and not to mention, remember to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this guys? Begin now. We begin this episode with Senju Tsunade. She was currently at a secret location, one of the old war bunkers in the Land of Fire, as the place was big enough for them to have their little meeting here. However, she was not alone. Jury of the Sanin was also here. They were close enough to Konoha to get back just in case anything happened. There was one other person here as well, and that was Inoichi Yamanaka. He was sworn to secrecy. This was an S-rank mission that he will not tell anyone. Tsunade didn't want this information getting out before she knew how to perfectly handle it. As she was waiting, you know, someone that can basically flash around the entire elemental nation, should he be making us weak like this? Jiraiya spoke up. I gave him the information location. He should be here by now. Inoichi remained quiet, as he was not given any specific details about what was going on here. However, he was told whatever he was about to see, or whatever that they will do, was a strict S-rank mission secrecy, and he would not tell a single soul. That is when they heard the secret entrance opening. Jiraiya had given Naruto everything he would need to enter this location. Arriving, Naruto stepped inside, dressed in black pants, a black coat with a grey shirt underneath. He was wearing no indication that he was a Kiri shinobi. As he stepped inside, Inoichi was surprised. Of all people he expected to see, this was not one of them. However, he remained quiet. What took you so long? Said Jiraiya. Had to deal with a few things, but I'm here, aren't I? Said Naruto, as he noticed Tsunade looking at him, as she remembered the last time they met up. I know what you're thinking, he said, and this is not the right time to punch me. We have some serious business to deal with. She stepped forward as she looked him over. So you're part Kushina, aren't you? She said. Her voice came out low and soft. So he told you, said Naruto, as he did not look up at Jiraiya, who looked sheepish at that. But what would Naruto expect? Tsunade looked at him. So that is why you call me that name. However, Naruto said nothing, as she just looked at him. I'm sorry, she said to him, as he raised an eyebrow at that. And what do you have to be sorry for, he said. Jiraiya explained everything to me, so I know that you have your memories. I know that you know the relationship between me and Kushina. Sorry for not being there for him at all, she said. Yes, you're right. I know the relationship between you two. However, I do also know how much you've suffered, said Naruto. And it wouldn't have changed anything if you had come back. At that time, you were a broken person who was finding it harder and harder to live, if I'm not mistaken. Tsunade lowered her head, knowing that was one of the worst times in her life, when she couldn't think of a reason to get out of bed. So it wouldn't have done any difference. Perhaps it would have made it worse, said Naruto. Still, she said, look, we can go over the history later, said Naruto. I would rather deal with this sooner than later. She decided to hold it off for now. Fine, she said. So where is he? Naruto pulled out a scroll. As he sat on the ground, he went through 5 hand signs really quickly before slamming his hand down. There was a poof. When the smoke cleared, Hidan was strapped in a chair, his arms and legs strapped to the chair as he was unconscious. He wasn't wearing a shirt, only black pants. And he was in a bad condition. Are you sure that he's alive? Inuichi said, speaking up for the first time, seeing the state that Hidan is currently in at the moment. He was placed in a time dilation seal, so his chakra and life force is a bit off. However, they should return back to normal about now, said Naruto. Inuichi was then able to feel that the man was alive right there. Jiraiya looked over at him. So, you guys had him for a couple of days and he said absolutely nothing. He's the mad bomber of the Hidden Stone, said Naruto. He wants to die by going out in a grand explosion. He knew the moment he released a single word, he would die, so he said nothing, despite the pain and suffering. So, would you mind getting this underway, he said. Tsunade nodded towards Inuichi, who made his way forward and placed a hand on Hidan's head. Upon entering his mind, there was a barrier there. A protective barrier. However, Inuichi, being the ways that he was in mind manipulation, he was quickly able to break through it. And there was kind of a coding mind scrambler there. It seems that the leader of this organization really didn't want any of his secrets coming out. However, Inuichi was able to disarm and fix everything before entering. And what he came across was vivid memories, as he was able to see the meetup of the Akatsuki. Inuichi went through his mind, as the time dilation was different. In the inside it was a lot longer than the outside. Inuichi came across several meetings, however, in each of these meetings, the Akatsuki never specify what exactly they want to do. They want all the power to change the world and bring some sort of symbol of control or peace. As he was able to list out the members, judging by their features and their voices, he was able to recognize some of them, however, the others. But what startled him though was the eyes. Inuichi Yamanaka, being of the older ages, had heard about the legend of the Sage of Six Paths. Most of the older generation has. And he heard about the eyes, the Rinnegan. There was a description of them. No one had any solid proof that this was true, however, those eyes, those ring patterns. After a few minutes of silence, you think he's finding anything, said Jiraiya. Judging by his face, I would say yes, said Naruto. As they saw him went through a series of emotions. He then came out as he almost fell, however, Tsunade got him. Inuichi, she said, it's alright. The man looked frazzled by the things that he saw. He took a moment to calm down. There's a lot, he said, as he started, after taking a breath, to explain what he saw. The meetings were not that important because he didn't find anything too specific in them. Not to mention, this guy didn't seem to be high up in the food chain to know everything. However, he was able to describe the man that was giving out orders. Deidara had met the leader before. Orange hair, piercings. However, the part that got them shocked was the eyes. You're joking, right? Said Tsunade. Those things were supposed to be a myth. No, they're not, said Naruto. He's right, said Jiraiya. She turned towards Jiraiya. How would you know that, she said. You remember the time I went missing doing the second Great Shinobi War? At the Hidden Rain, he said. Snetty nodded, wondering what this has to do with anything. The reason I stayed behind was because of the brats. The brats? Try to remember. There was 3 kids there. Snetty was trying hard to remember what he was talking about. You remember, come on. I read here one. The one with the orange hair, said Jiraiya. And the girl, Konan. As Naruto reacted to that, what did you just say, he asked. About what, said Jiraiya. That name, Konan. Can you tell me what she looked like, Naruto asked. Jiraiya described her, confused by what Naruto was going on about. The look on Naruto's face. What's wrong, said Snetty. So they're in the Hidden Rain, huh? What do you mean? Jiraiya asked, confused. He just needed a little push to put it together. Think about it. You told me that you've met a Rinnegan user before. This person, Konan, she's alive. No, said Jiraiya, she died. Some years ago You're wrong, said Naruto. She's a part of the Akatsuki, and she seemed to be higher up as well. She and 2 others, Kisame and Itachi, tried to capture me. However, they failed in doing so. But she was the one that brought them there, so I believe that she's higher up. In the visions, there was a woman. However, she is the only one that I was unable to get fully in his memories. They've never met face to face in real person, only through the holographic system. Her eyes are amber. That's her, said Naruto. Little origami flower in her hair, piercing at her chin. I'm sorry, but I wasn't able to see that. It doesn't matter. That's who she is. I guess I'm going to the Hidden Rain, said Naruto as he started to turn. Wait, said Jiraiya. You can't just go there by yourself. If what I think is correct, that means he's alive. But you said that the one with the orange hair had the Rinnegan. Inuichi nodded. The last time I trained him, it was the red hair one that had the Rinnegan. Nagato, yes, that was his name. I'm sorry, but I did not see a red hair member reported the Akatsuki. As Jiraiya frowned at that, what the hell is going on? He wondered to himself. If we take all of your assumptions together, it seems like the Akatsuki is at the Hidden Rain. They're a big part of it, she said. For the past couple of years, the village has been locked down due to a civil war between Hanzo and someone else. Do you believe that this leader of the Akatsuki is Pain, said Inuichi. Pain, yes. Do you believe that he was the one in charge, fighting against Hanzo? I believe that Hanzo is dead, said Naruto. Snetty looked towards him. We fought Hanzo in the past. You have no idea how powerful he is, yes. But it doesn't matter, said Naruto, interrupting her. The Rinnegan is far more powerful than anything. Hanzo has the wheel. So it's most likely he's been dead for a while, and Pain has been in charge ever since. After all, why would the village be so secretive and locking down their borders for such a long time? If Hanzo was indeed in charge, why wouldn't he want his village to prosper? I can't deny you on that, said Snetty. However, this is a risky move. For you it might be, said Naruto. However, I am going to take care of the organization that is hunting me and my kind. Once I get rid of them, people can sleep a whole lot safer without worrying about the Akatsuki coming after them. That is a really stupid idea, said Snetty. He's right. You have no idea how strong they are. And what do you think you're gonna do? Take on the entire village? No offense, but last time I checked, you were not in charge of me, said Naruto. I don't have to be in charge of you to tell you that what you're planning to do is a really stupid idea. She's right, said Jiraiya. Let me go. What? You just heard what I said, right, said Snetty, giving Jiraiya a glare. It's not like that time, he said. If this is true, then I'm gonna talk to them. As Naruto started to laugh. What's so funny? Well, how long now you have known that they were dead, said Naruto. A couple of years, why, said Jiraiya. Do you really think that you're the same person? This organization has been going around killing innocent people because they possess a tail piece. They want that power for God knows what, and you want to go and Let me get this straight. Talk to them. What makes you think they're not just gonna kill you on sight, said Naruto. He's right, said Tsunade. You're making much less sense than he was a moment ago. Just because you knew them once doesn't mean that you do anymore. People change quickly in this world, and you'll be walking into a death trap. She's right, Jiraiya-sama, said Inoichi. From the memories I saw, this Deidara guy is one of the worst people. Bombing an innocent village because of goals and tasks. All of those goals and those tasks were handed out by the Akatsuki, these people that you once knew. Jiraiya clenched his fists. I know that I can do something, he said. He then got an idea. How about this, he said. Why don't you and I go? From what you've shown so far, you can sneak into place really easily. And besides, with your Harishin technique, if things get too bad, we can hightail it out of there. So why don't you and I go? If I fail to convince them otherwise, we know that we have to prepare for something big. Tsunade was against this, however, Naruto spoke up before she could. While I wanted to go by myself because that was my point anyway, if things got too bad I could have easily gotten out of there. I suppose you can tag along. Really? Said Jiraiya, thinking that the blonde would refuse. Oh, don't be so happy, said Naruto. This is for my own amusement. I'm just gonna show you that you're wrong about them. That people quickly change and turn into psychotic monsters nowadays. Jiraiya frowned. He was only doing this to make sure that his spirit was crushed. So I'll let you have your talk. We will go in 3 days. I have things to do before I set out. 3 days. Let's meet at the border of the Land of Fire, said Naruto. As he pulled back the scroll before he went through hand sign and seal, Deidara back inside. What are you gonna do with him, said Tsunade. Oh, I have plans for him, said Naruto. Can we talk before you go, she asked. About? Just come with me, she said. Naruto sighed as he simply followed behind her. They went to a different area. As Inoichi wondered what they were going to talk about. He was so lost here. There was so much things that didn't make sense to him. Just who was that guy? Yes, he knew that he was Naruto the Tail Beast Killer. However, the way they were acting around him. Could he really have some kind of connection to Naruto Uzumaki, the missing Jinchuriki from their village? Moments later. So, what do you want? I just want to know. Why did you go to Kira? Tsunade asked. Why didn't you come back to the village? Knowing who you are right now, knowing the memories that you have, don't you have the same feelings? Why did you go back to Konoha? Naruto asked. That question caught her off guard. Well, after what happened to us in our last encounter, I came back to help the old man. Speaking of him, it would be really good for him to actually see you, she said. I'm sure no, said Naruto. Just because I'm here and going along with everything, it doesn't mean that I've really come back towards a setting of life. So you just got rid of everything. The Kushina I know well. I'm not the Kushina you know, said Naruto, cutting her off. Besides, look at me. Do I look like Kushina? Well, the here alone, she said. Other than that, if you have the 4th memories, you know what it means to be a Hokage. You know the difficult decisions that he had to make. Yes, I do. Saving thousands and damning one, said Naruto. Let's just say I'm selfish. She raised her eyebrow. What do you mean? Well, if it was up to me, if it was my child or someone I care for, I would have found a way around it. To tell you the truth. Some other way to find something else. Maybe I'm a selfish, heartless person, seeing that I would try to find a way even if it put the jeopardy of thousands of people in danger. I don't know why, but I would never want my child to grow up without a parent there. Maybe it's because of what I went through. However, you're the Hokage now, so you have to make difficult choices, said Naruto. And you asked me why I went to Kira. It's quite simple. I wanted to start over. I am not Naruto Uzumaki, I am not Kushina Uzumaki, or Minato Namikaze. I am Naruto, plain and simple. I chose that name because it felt more familiar. But I'm just Naruto. Nothing else, no one else. While I have their memories, feelings that I once had, they don't contradict me anymore, said Naruto. After all, recently, You know what? That's none of your business, said Naruto. However, I do know that you've suffered a lot. So to go through all of that and become Hokage to the village that has been putting you through a lot. For that you have my respect, said Naruto. And frankly, I don't really hate you, so yeah. Snady simply released a breath that she did not know that she was holding on to. Jiraiya told me about the alliance between Kiri and Kumo. And the peace thought that you made between us and Konoha. Well, Jiraiya did trip in a bit, said Naruto. Well, you did most of it, she said. Well, I'm not surprised. You seem pretty smart for someone that is stupid most of the time. You know, said Naruto, I know what you really want to ask me. With the whole Akatsuki thing on the way, with Sasuke Uchiha defection, finding a common ground between the villages would come a long way. Konoha has already allied to the Sand. I've already helped out the Jinchuriki of the Sand, so it's just a matter of time before everything comes full circle. And you want to know what will happen between Konoha and Kiri. But you don't have to worry, there is no qualms. As I told you before, I started over. And those past feelings and hate, I've just released them. It doesn't mean I want to fall back in my own life in Konoha, but if there is going to be an alliance between Konoha and Kiri, it wouldn't bother me, said Naruto. Having less people die in this world would be a better thing, he said. Besides, I have people now that I want to keep safe. And I would rather they be safe in every ounce of that word, including against other nations. That brought a smile to Snavy's face, as she seemed a lot happier than before. Well, this was some really good news, she thought to herself. It was just up to her now to make sure that this get concrete. Time skip. Sasuke Uchiha opened his eyes. He was ready. It was time. Stepping out of his quarters, Sasuke marched his way down towards Orochimaru location. Over the past few years, the snake's son has been getting weaker and weaker. His body was coming to an end, and it was time to possess Sasuke's. However, Sasuke never planned on letting Orochimaru take him over. In fact, there was a burst of light. It was a form of lightning manipulation that tore through the door. The snake's sonic arm was skewered into the wall. The door was sliced apart. A furious Orochimaru looked towards it as he saw the child prodigy that he has been training, Sasuke Uchiha. Sharingan already activated, ready to slaughter. And Orochimaru was gonna die. Sasuke will make sure of that. Time skip. Mei was surprised. After a long day of work, she came home to a pampering, a well-cooked meal. It seems that Naruto was just going out of his way to make sure that she was happy. The both of them alone, candles, everything just perfect. Right now the both of them were alone as he was giving her a massage, releasing all the tension in her body. However, she had a bad feeling that he was about to do something stupid with him being so nice. Really nice. Naruto-kun, she said, her tone coming out soft and sweet. Yes, Mei-chan, he said, his tone coming out calm and relaxing. What are you about to do? He pretended to be affronted. What are you talking about, he said. I just thought it would be nice of me to give you a day of pampering. You've been working so hard lately. As she raised the eyebrow to that, usually when you do these things, there is always something that you're not telling me. What would I not be telling you, said Naruto. Mei glanced towards him as he was behind her, as she gave him that suspicious look. Well, there is something, said Naruto. I knew it, she said. Spit it out, what is it, she asked. As an idea popped in her head. You know, if you do all these kind of things just to break up with me, I'm gonna kill you. Break up with you? Why the hell would I do that, said Naruto. She shrugged. It's just a thought, she said. Well, you're totally wrong, said Naruto. Alright then, she said. What exactly do you want? It can't be anything in the bedroom, because we've been rather adventurous lately. So what is it? The both of them had a rule on these special nights. They will not talk about work or anything. That is why she hadn't asked him about what happened when he brought Deidara towards the Konoha ninjas. Despite how crucial that was for the annihilation of the Akatsuki, she knew if it was something super important, Naruto would tell her. So she would wait until tomorrow and not spoil the mood. Well, we kinda found out where the Akatsuki is located, and me and Jiraiya are gonna go there to handle it. Everything went dead quiet. As Naruto continued to massage her, however, he could feel her body stiffen for a split second there, as he tried to work out the kinks and make her relax. However, she was so stiff now that it was hard to do so. May then spoke as her tone came out rather calm. Why must you always insist on putting yourself in the most dangerous situations? Look, said Naruto, it's no, she said, cutting him off. Let me finish. As she turned to face him, you told me yourself that you have a strong indication that the leader of the Akatsuki possess one of the greatest dojutsu in the entire elemental nation, which is the Rinnegan. Something that was said to be a myth, however. Because of your special condition, you know a lot about it because you've seen it before, and yet you want to go to the Hidden Rain, an entire different village with one individual, to go up against that village shinobis and the leader of the Akatsuki, not knowing how much of them are there. Or what about the situation that might get you killed, she asks. So let me ask you again, why do you always insist on putting yourself in the dangerous situations? Do you want to die, she asks him. She was dead serious. There was no joking tone in her voice, no little flirting tone or anything. She was upset. He was always doing some things just to... She didn't know if he was trying to prove a point or something, but this was just idiotic and dumb. She understood that the Akatsuki was a big threat, but why was he the only one that has to fight them? Why was he the one that has to risk his life? It just didn't make any sense to her. He was not the only one that the Akatsuki are a problem to. He was not the only savior of this world. He was not the person should put his life on the line each time there was a big threat. Naruto held out his hand as she noticed a seal in his palm. Before poof, a small box appeared. A black box. May noticed the size of it. As Naruto reached and opened it, her eyes went wide when she saw what was inside. It was a diamond ring, well crafted, from the texture and how it was shaped, immensely expensive as well. As May looked up towards him, he placed a finger to her lips, stopping her from talking. I love you, said Naruto. They've said that before, but this time, she didn't know what it was, but there was just something. Since I changed and become who I am right now. At first, yes, it was fun, going around and doing as I please. However, for the past few years of being here, being with you, my life has changed for the better. Having a family, having people that actually care for me, and people I actually care for, said Naruto, is the best thing in this world I could ask for. You asked me if I'm putting myself in these situations to die, but no, I'm not, said Naruto. I just want to get it all over with. The sooner I deal with the Akatsuki, the sooner our life can go to a sense of normalcy. With Konoha, the Sun, and Kumo now, there's a chance that we can get peace between the nations. And I don't have to worry about any world war, any chaos coming our way. With the Akatsuki moving about, they're one of the biggest threats. Recent things I found out, I know I have to get rid of them. If I was giving you this and knowing that I would die, I would have been the most selfishest human being in the entire world. But I'm giving you this as a promise, said Naruto, to show you that I won't die. Most ninjas think that is ridiculous, promising something like that. But I can say this 100%, I'll be coming back, because I'm crazy about you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want you not just to be my girlfriend, I want you to be my wife, said Naruto. May was speechless of all the things that she expected tonight. This was not one of them. True, they have been together for the past year and plus, but still, this was just... She was crazy about him and she knew that. At this point, she couldn't imagine her life without him. So think of this as a promise, said Naruto. I'll always come back to you no matter what. And the sooner I can end this, the sooner I can come back to you and just stay with you, said Naruto. A happy smile on his face as he looked at her. Mei had shed a few tears, overwhelmed by all of this. Since she was young, she wanted to find someone. However, with the civil war going on, she thought that possibility was never going to happen until she met this amazing guy. On that day when she found him on the coast, there was just something edging her to go and help him out. And now she knew why. It was fate. Why she didn't believe in that much. It seems like fate really was something that exists in this world. Destiny. As Naruto looked towards her. Yes. Yes, she said. He slipped the ring on her finger. As she pulled him in, causing the both of them fall in the bed. A deep, passionate kiss. As the both of them were in complete bliss. It was a wonderful time. Time skip. Jiraiya sat waiting for Naruto at a small little bar at the Fire Coast. He was supposed to be here about half an hour ago, so they could get a move on early. Finally, he arrived. As he stepped inside, Jiraiya got up as he made his way. Took you long enough. You know, Tsunade was right. For someone who can basically teleport anywhere, you're late most of the time. As Jiraiya saw something different about Naruto. What is it? Said Naruto, seeing the man stare at him. I don't know, but you seem different. Naruto tilted his head. How so? I can't put my finger on it, but there is just something well, I'm not sure, said Jiraiya. Well, tell me when you figure it out, said Naruto, as he stuffed his hands in his pockets. He was wearing a cloak, as he was wearing his full ninja gear underneath that. There wasn't any headband on him this time, as both men started to walk. Remember the plan, said Jiraiya. Yeah, said Naruto. We'll enter the village secretly, then. We'll try to find out as much information as possible. And if we do come face to face with his pain, you want time to talk to him first before anything happens. But you will have your time to speak. No matter how sadistic he might be, I doubt if he is in charge of the village he would allow anything to happen to it. Perhaps there won't be a fight today, said Naruto, as he stuffed his hands in his pockets walking. However, Naruto was going to disregard whatever Jiraiya said. If he found out the leader of the Akatsuki was indeed the one they were going after, and if Jiraiya was unable to convince him, Naruto was going to kill him. Plain and simple. He was going to end the Akatsuki by cutting off the head, and then finding the co-leader of the group. As Naruto knew everything. It was Obito Uchiha. A Uchiha that was supposed to be dead for years now. Still alive, causing so much chaos. Causing the entire civil war to wipe out majority of Kira bloodline factions. Naruto had no indication of dying to any of these people. He already gave Mei a promise. He saw how happy she was, and her happiness was the only thing that he cared about right now, to come back to. He had his family back at the home. There was no long goodbye between him and Fu and Taewon, because to them he was simply going on another simple mission, and that was the case. Naruto was not overconfident or too cocky about anything, but he's been preparing for any threat that might come his way for the past 2.5 years. Getting his Sage Mode fully activated once again, making sure that he was ready for all obstacles. He doubted that he will fail to this person even if he possessed the Rinnegan. Not to mention Naruto had the biggest trump card in history. Although, that trump card will cost him, but still. In the end, he will win. So with that, the boatman made their way. Meanwhile that was going on, Obito Uchiha has not been a happy man recently. Things didn't make sense and it was driving him crazy. Several things has happened now that was plaguing his mind. The sudden pop-up of this Naruto individual. Now that Obito had gotten this indication, he realized several things. His hair was exactly like Kushina Uzumaki. His facial features looked like Minato with a small little twist to it. His memories. He knew about everything. He knew how to use a Hyroshin. Obito was not sure, but he felt like this was a jutsu gone wrong. Some strange mixture of Minato and Kushina somehow. That must be the case. How was the person able to identify him? And the look on the person's face, it was pure shock and sadness as well. He said that he failed to save him. The only person that he knew that would say that was his sensei, or Kakashi. And that was definitely not goddamn Kakashi. So what else could there be? It must be him. But how? Some accidental jutsu. From what you remember, his sensei was a waist with ceiling. Maybe he did something to the younger Naruto. And when he fell off the bridge and land of waves, something happened. And he came back as the both of them combined. Maybe something to do with the fox. With the cell of Zetsu and Kurama, Obito was able to remove the seal from his chest. Now it will be a lot harder for him to touch him in any aspect. However, he fought him once before, and he knew a bit about his technique, while not the whole. About his ability, he was able to slam him with that Rasengan. And Obito had to be cautious around him. He had years to refine his technique and get stronger. Obito knew that he was no joke right now. He had to make sure that this went perfectly, otherwise he feared the annihilation of the Akatsuki. Not to mention, Sasuke Uchiha has recently been rumored to have killed Orochimaru. That was another play that he had. Zetsu was there as he overheard everything. However, Zetsu was playing a bigger game here. Zetsu saw a motive that he could take. However, he needed the opportunity. And he didn't know how much he was going to get that opportunity. As Zetsu made his way, the decline in health of Nagato counted on this plan of his. Obito was unraveling, and he was becoming a liability. And Zetsu knew that he had to do something about it. He had to make a small move to ensure that this happened, as Zetsu headed towards Hidden Rain, unaware that he was about to get the opportunity of his life. Meanwhile, Sasuke Uchiha had gathered a team that consists of Suigetsu, Jugo, and Gorin. Gorin wouldn't normally follow Sasuke, however, in the past couple of years things happened. One of those major things was the death of Yukimaru, an accidental overdose of pills that he was being fed. Yukimaru was a special child, and in order to bring out his potential, Orochimaru had many things done to the kid. However, his body wasn't able to handle it. Gorin had went into a shutdown phase where she became merciless. Orochimaru did not want to use her as a host, and she started to realize that she had nothing left to live for. Her master cast her aside like she was some garbage. She wanted to get it all over with, as she kept on offering to do the jobs that seemed the most dangerous for her master. Maybe she could have some work with her life. With Yukimaru gone, she did not feel like there was much for her to go on for, and her master would not take her as his host. However, when Sasuke killed Orochimaru, she fought him. But something just stopped her as Sasuke gave her the opportunity to, well, come with him and help him on his endeavor. Gorin wanted to feel needed, like she was worth something, having nothing else to look forward to or move forward on. She wanted something. The remaining member of Zone 4 tried to kill Sasuke. However, Gorin had killed them in a split second, as she decided to follow the Uchiha. Having nothing else to look for, she tried to find some purpose in her life, as she believed that this might help her. However, before they go, they had to make sure they get rid of every threat. That is why they proceed to hunt down Kabuto and slaughter him, erasing the top heads of the Hidden Sound. They had no more person to come after them. So with that, they were free to move. As they went to gather the other members, it wasn't hard to get Karin to join their side, because she was obsessed with Sasuke. Jugo was calmed by Kimimaro, who passed away from his illness. However, Kimimaro had told him about Sasuke. Orochimaru saw him a vessel. And now, Jugo was following Sasuke as well because he was able to calm him down. The group Taka was born, and it was time that they hunt down and kill Itachi Uchiha. Time skip. Naruto proceeded to crawl out of the mouth of a toad. As Jiraiya looked towards him, seeing him shiver. "I am never doing that again," said Naruto. As he looked over the village, rain was pouring. Jiraiya was about to take a step forward until Naruto stopped him. "What's wrong?" "This rain," said Naruto. He touched a wall that he was near. "It's not normal." Jiraiya turned towards him. "What do you mean?" "This village is always known for its rain, however this is not normal one bit," said Naruto as he looked around. "There's a lot of chakra in it. Someone is using this to find possible intruders. And we're already screwed," said Naruto as he quickly pulled out something out of his pouch that was hidden under his cloak. "Put this on," said Naruto. Jiraiya took the paper from Naruto and saw a seal on it. "What's this?" "Just put it on," said Naruto. Jiraiya proceeded to put on his arm as Naruto sent chakra to it. The seal burned into his flesh, causing him to wince a bit, as Naruto placed one on as well. "What did that do?" said Jiraiya. "Think of it as a chakra's a person's seal. However, it doesn't completely seal away your chakra to not be able to use it." "So what does it do?" "It counteracts your chakra," said Naruto. "So whoever is trying to spy on us will only sense a brief tremors of movement that will spread through the vicinity. So they will have no idea exactly where we're located. Let's move." Meanwhile, Pain opened his eyes where he was. Nagato could have sworn that he sensed something a moment ago, but then it just felt like vibrations through the rain. Small fluctuation of chakra, making him wonder if he was feeling something wrong, which has never happened before, or something is going on. The hidden rain borders is filled with rain shinobis. It will be hard to step in without a fight, as he really doubted that someone got in here. And who would be stupid enough to enter a village that is rumored to be going through a civil war? He decided to just let it be. Meanwhile, Naruto and Jiraiya made their way, a little disguise here and there, as they looked like two normal rain citizens, making their way as they went through several bars. Seconds turned to minutes and minutes turned into hours, as both of them rendezvous. "So, what were you able to find out?" Jiraiya asked. "Well, for one thing, Konan is known as the angel here." Wait, said Jiraiya. "You still didn't tell me what was your relationship with her. How exactly you know her?" "That's not important," said Naruto. "And Pain is referred to as their god, a man that has brought them peace and prosperity." "However, I don't see it," said Naruto. "All I see is a caged up village, with people suffering same way. If he was a god, none of his people would have suffered," said Naruto as he looked around. "And he's rumored to be on the highest tower." Jiraiya looked towards Naruto surprised. "Did you interrogate someone for this?" "Because I had to capture 2 prisoners." "You did?" said Naruto. "Did you torture them?" "In a sense," said Jiraiya. "They were the ones that brought the body towards the highest tower, where they believe that the leader resides. He doesn't really talk to his people. Konan does most of the job here. However, they know that he is real and exists." "I can't feel his chakra no matter how hard I try," said Naruto. "Whatever is up there is masking my sensory towards him. So I guess we should just go to him." Jiraiya looked towards Naruto like he was crazy. "What?" said Naruto. "His building is isolated from the others, so it's not like these citizens will get any hurt. And I doubt he'll want to fight in his own village. That would just be stupid," said Naruto. "So you just want to walk up to the big bad? Well, you said he was your student. He will listen to you." "What, getting cold feet?" Naruto asked. "No, it's not that," said Jiraiya, as he looked around. "Fine. Let's do this, but remember, don't attack. Let me talk to him." As Naruto raised his hands, the both of them made their way. As they removed the seal, Naruto removing Jiraiya's seal. The moment they did that, Naruto could feel it. It felt like they were noticed. there was a shift in the rain. Standing there calmly, as they arrived toward the largest tower, there was no other civilization around here. Everything was towards the back front. With Nagato, he was shocked as he felt too. Two chakra signatures right at his doorstep. He couldn't believe it. He quickly put Tendo online and sent him to go and get Konan. A minute later, she arrived in the room. "What is it?" she said. Her tone cold and calm as usual. "It seems like we have two unwanted guests." "Where are they?" "Right in front of the tower." "How?" she said. "Isn't the rain supposed to sense them?" "I don't know what is going on. However, these chakra levels, they're no normal ninjas. I will go assess the situation," she said to him. "I'll prepare myself," he said. As he started to make contact with the other paths, eyes start to open up as capsules start to pull. Konan made her way outside. It didn't take long for them to arrive toward the same location. As Jiraiya saw it, the wings flapping down like an angel coming from the heavens. It didn't take long for her to be hovering over them. The moment Naruto saw her, his fists clenched roughly, as her piercing eyes looked down towards him, completely ignoring Jiraiya. She floated down towards the ground, as she was now standing, her wings folded into her back and vanishing. "Naruto," she said. Her greetings took Naruto off guard. The last time they met, it wasn't so pleasant, so this was not expected at all. "It's good to see you," she said. "I've heard about your exploits over the past 2.5 years. Seems you're doing well for yourself." As Naruto wondered if she's gone senile or something. "The last time I checked, we're not on any good terms, considering I promised that I would kill you," said Naruto. "Yes, I remember that." Jiraiya interjected. "Konan," he said, as he wondered if she did not see him or something. "Ah, Jiraiya-sensei. It has been quite some time. What's going on? Are you really with them?" "With them?" "The Akatsuki," said Jiraiya. "Yes, I am," she said. As Naruto truly wondered if she's lost it. The way she's acting and reacting, it didn't make any sense. Something didn't seem right, as Konan looked at him with those piercing eyes. The itch to anger right here and now was strong in Naruto. He was angry. He was furious. She lied to him, she tricked him, and she tried to have him killed by the Akatsuki. Despite everything they went through, and he wanted to end her. He was barely holding himself back because he was giving Jiraiya time. However, what he didn't know was that Konan came to terms with everything. Konan went through a lot in the past 2.5 years. And in the past 2.5 years, the words that Naruto said to her kept on going through her mind over and over again. That there was no true way of bringing peace. And as she started to look on things even more, all she saw was nothing but death, destruction and chaos. People dying meaningless deaths, and her and her organization causing even more. It made a part of her realize that she made the wrong choice. She should have gone with Naruto. She should have accepted what he said. She shouldn't have sided with the Akatsuki. She made the wrong choice back then. Yes, she did. Now she had nothing. Her life felt empty, like she had nothing to live for. Maybe it was her punishment for doing the wrong thing. She had gave up a long time ago. She had been moving like a drone the longest time now. As she looked towards Jiraiya and then back at Naruto, keeping eye level with them, there was no fear, no hesitation, no rushness on her face. She was just calm. As Naruto found it odd. He didn't know the turmoil that she was going through. She came to understand that she would never had a good life because she gave up the one person that made her life a lot better. The one person that made her feel human, because now she felt like a hollow robot. And there was no changing that, because seeing the look on his face, he hated her. He despised her. And she believed that she deserved it. Maybe she did. And he was now here to fulfill his promise of ending her. That is when another arrived. One of them with long hair. As neither man knew who this was, Jiraiya seemed confused. "What's wrong?" said Naruto. "That's not him," said Jiraiya. "His features, his hair, you look nothing like him." "Then who is it?" As Naruto wondered something, does multiple people have the Rinnegan? Another thought then popped into his head. However, he had to see more to make sure that was the case. As he focused on the rods in their face, Naruto stood still for the longest moment. Naruto's Sage Mode had far passed Jiraiya in sensory and reach. Everything seemed that Jiraiya could not hold it without summoning Ma or Pa. Jiraiya then felt it, the natural engine near to him. "What are you doing?" he said. "Don't worry, I'm just checking something," said Naruto. As Jiraiya started to talk to the summoning path that was standing there, Konan just looked at Naruto. As she did not say anything, she watched as the pigmentation on his eyes appeared, and his body seemed to go into a more relaxed state. Naruto then snapped his head towards the building. As she wondered, could he... "I see now," said Naruto. The summoning path focused on him. "He's just a fake," Naruto called out. "What do you mean?" said Jiraiya. "The real one is in there. Those rods in his face are transmitters. The Rinnegan has the ability to split the user's visual powers. It seems that this individual split it into different bodies, giving them at least one or two of the other abilities. However, we have to see the amount to judge that." "You know a lot," said the summoning path. "I'm afraid I can't let you go with that information. You have been a thorn in my side for the longest time, Naruto Uzumaki. And it's time I put an end to you." As Naruto raised the eyebrow at him calling him Uzumaki, it seems he knew a lot as well. Or maybe he was just trying to get a jump out of him or something. But Naruto remained calm. "The way you are right now, you stand no chance against me. I gave my word to the sage over here, telling him that I'll give him a chance for you to talk. So you better get talking," said Naruto. "Because I'm sure you wouldn't want to start a fight inside your own village. Things might get a bit..." Before Naruto could finish, the summoning pad jumped. Summoning Jutsu, poof! As a gigantic centipede burst from the ground, forcing Naruto and Jiraiya to jump away. As Konan arrived, paper blade in her hand, as the centipede went after Jiraiya. "I'm sorry it had to come to this, Naruto," she said. "You're sorry? You shouldn't have betrayed me then." She looked towards him. "You seem much happier." Naruto clenched his fists. "Do I look happy to you?" he asked. "I don't know how to explain it. But yes, you are," she said. "It was like when we were together. Have you found someone that make your life happier?" As Naruto did not answer her question, "I'll take that as a yes," she said to him. "Well, I'm glad," she said. "You deserve someone that can treat you right." "You seem to have completely lost your mind," said Naruto. "Oh, no. My mind hasn't been this clear before," she said, as she rushed forward at blinding speeds. She tried to get behind him, however, he gripped her wrists. As he pulled her in, he pulled his fist back. Immediately though, her face split as Naruto's hand slammed right through it. Her body then burst apart into papers and started to twirl around him. The problem was, the papers could not cut his skin. His Sage Mode body enhanced to the point where they could not break his flesh. She reformed as she held her hand up a disc of paper as she launched it towards his face. As Naruto flashed away, with nothing but speed, he appeared behind her. Konan turned, but it was too late as he kicked her right out of mid-air. His speed far surpassed whatever she can go to. It doesn't matter how far she can dislodge herself or how far she could dematerialize her body to paper. She was not fast enough. She hit the ground a heap, her body slamming into it. She cushioned her blow though, by turning part of her body into paper. However, the pain was still immense, as she could be seen gripping her side. However, despite that, she seemed happy. For whatever reason he did not know, he was confused by it. However, Naruto knew the weakness to her paper. After just a few seconds of fighting her, flashing through Hansa and the moisture in the air was sucked up before a dragon made from water shot towards her. She was able to evade it, however the dragon swirled into a ball before exploding, flashing her down to the ground. Konan flipped as she landed, her wings no longer behind her. She seemed to be holding back. Even if she went all out, she couldn't beat him, but still. Naruto was not though. Her hand was grabbed before she was thrown, her body smashing into the side of a building as Naruto appeared over her. Still that look on her face, that calm, understanding look. Immediately, poof, a blade flashed in Naruto's hand as he brought it down. However, he stopped right at her throat as she did not try to defend herself. She looked up at him surprised and confused. He then spoke. "You want to die?" he asked. She looked up right into his eyes. "I'm sorry," she said. "I know you hate me, but all of that is my fault. I messed up. What I did. I've now come to realize the actions that I've done." Your words kept on echoing through my mind. At first I thought you were wrong and naive, however, I was wrong and naive one. I should have listened, but I did not. I know I'm stuck, but I've came to the understanding some time ago that I can get free by just giving up. And I wanted it to be by your hands, because you were the one I wronged the most, toyed with your feelings. I hurt you really badly. "Do it," she said, as she reached up and gripped the blade. She held on to the blade so tightly her hands started to bleed. "Why are you stopping?" as she tried to pull the blade down. "End me!" As Naruto looked into her eyes. "You truly have nothing to live for?" he asked her. She shook her head. This wasn't about him alone. Over the few years, she's come to realize how empty her life really was. And with the other nations after them, the Akatsuki seemed to be failing more and more. However, she was stuck. And she just wanted to get over with. The only reason why she hadn't done anything yet was because she wanted Naruto to be the one to end her. To do a final act. To tell him how sorry she was. As Naruto could see it in her eyes, if it wasn't him, she was going to find another way. "I'm sorry that things had to turn out like this," he said to her. "Me too," she said. Slice. The blade went right through her flesh, piercing her heart. As Konan looked up at his face one last time, as a few water droplets fell on her face. No, it wasn't rain. He was crying. Despite everything Naruto felt, he had felt strong emotions for her, and when she betrayed him he thought he could never find someone again. If it wasn't for me, he had no idea where he would be right now. However, despite that, killing Konan, it was still a bit hard on him. But she gave him a smile. Yes, there was a smile on her face as she died. That is when Naruto heard a sound as he turned. A gigantic rhino was rushing towards him. However, that sadness quickly turned to rage. The person that dragged her into all of this. Rage started to build up into nothing but pure power. As the entire village started to feel unsettling. Meanwhile, Zetsu arrived and felt the power throughout the village. As he just walked into something quite tremendous. And there was a chance that he could turn this around for him. As he said, Obito was unfit. He was a mess right now. Zetsu quickly made his way to see what was going on. But guys, to be instant right here for things important to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.